Hi, I'm Dr. Dyan Johnson, and it's time for another weekly sleep tip. So, I've been talking recently about personal hypnotic stories, and I would love to know what you think about some of the things that we've been talking about and what you think about how you create your own personal hypnotic story. So, let me know in the comments below. I think it's a really interesting topic. And one of the things I want to talk to you a little bit more about is how we can shift our perceptions, and how when we shift our perceptions, we shift our hypnotic stories. And when we shift our hypnotic stories, we change our lives. It's a pretty incredible thing. So check this out. So years ago, about 30 years ago, when I started learning hypnosis, I was in graduate school. I was getting my PhD in psychology, and I had this professor who was teaching me hypnosis. And in order to teach me, he did this hypnotic induction on me. It was actually a hypnotic test, because hypnosis is a measurable characteristic. Actually, it's retestable using the Stanford scale and the Harvard scale, and it's retestable over 25 years. It's really reliable. It's cross-cultural. It moves in a bell curve, and it's pretty incredible. So he was showing me doing a trance using some tests, and there was something that happened. I heard everything he was saying. It wasn't like I was asleep, but I just felt really relaxed. Like, I don't know if have you ever done meditation? I don't know how many of you have ever been hypnotized, and what was the experience like for you? And did you find it very similar to meditation? Because it felt to me very similar to meditation. I was relaxed. I heard everything he was saying. I was just pretty chill. And then he said something like, "Your arm is levitating." And my arm started lifting up. Felt like there was something like a balloon making it lift up. It didn't feel the same as, like, you lift your arm up. It actually felt like it was happening all by itself. And as it was happening, I was like, wow, that's really weird. Nothing is making my arm lift up like that, but it is actually just lifting up involuntarily. And then he said it was normal, and it went down to normal. And in that moment, my whole life changed. In that moment, I had this sense, like this knowing, when you have that like aha moment, like something just tells you this is it. And the aha moment for me was, I realized that what we perceive impacts our physical reality. It was like, how many times in my life have I thought, this is the way it is. These are the only choices I have. This is what I have to do. Have you ever thought that? Right? All of a sudden I was like, well, if I perceived that my arm was levitating, and then it was physically levitating, that was just my perception. Nothing was making it happen, except that it felt like it was involuntarily happening because I perceived that. And then when my professor told me your arm is normal, it was normal. And I was like, what if some of the things I think I have to do, and what if some of the feelings I have and the moods I have and the stress I have, what if that is just like my arm levitating? What if it's just perceptual? And as soon as I had that thought, everything just changed, because I was like, I had a lot of physical issues, like really major sleep issues, like 4 to 7 hours a night of insomnia, and I would wake up every 45 minutes, and I was fatigued, and I had immune issues, and I had pain issues, and all these issues. And I was like, what if I change my perceptions, and then it's like my arm, and I change my physical reality? And I realized, I knew this in my heart. It had to come from my heart. Like, it couldn't just be like, oh, I'm going to think about it. It had to be like, because I had that experience of my arm levitating under hypnosis and then going down to normal, I was like, well, I know that if I change my perceptions about the physical world and how I interact with it, that it will change everything. And it did. I got trained in hypnosis because of that. And that was in 1995. And I started doing self-hypnosis every day after that. And within 6 months, things were completely different. I was sleeping well for the first time in my life. I mean, I never slept well. And I was sleeping well for the first time in my life. And my pain was less. And my immune system, I stopped getting sinus infections and bronchial infections. You can actually read about this. I have a blog on my website about my personal hypnosis story. And but it was so amazing to realize this. And then I started working with patients in a holistic medical practice. And we started seeing differences in not just how they felt, but their blood tests and their allergy skin tests and sleep symptoms and all of these things. And I just want to really convey to you how much you have this power. You can change your perceptions and change so many things. I mean, there are things you can't change. Brown eyes, that's not going to change. But there are other things that you can change. And it's so exciting to realize that you can change your sleep when you're lying in bed at night. Remember what I'm talking about. And when you're like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Oh, I'm worried about this, that, and the other thing. And just see if you can just shift it in your heart. Like, know that it's possible. Know that it's possible, and then it's possible. If you want to learn more about some great sleep tips and self-hypnosis, you can download the free ebook and video. Link is in the notes. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about this. I'm so curious. Give me some comments and subscribe to my channel, follow me, all that good stuff. All right. And I'll see you soon. Okay. Sweet dreams.